Hey guys, it's Caleb from CNR Studios here, and I'm going to be doing something a bit different today. Today I'm going to be ranking all of the LEGO sets from what I feel is the best LEGO line out right now, the LEGO Harry Potter line. With recent light of getting the 2020 leaks and what may soon to become a Diagon Alley, please LEGO, I need you to do that. We so far have about 16 or 17 sets. I forgot the number, honestly. I'm so well prepared for this, but I really like this line, and I'm only going to be ranking the ones from 2018 to now. You know, there's still there should be a line next year based off the Deathly Hallows movies, but you never know if that's going to happen. I know it will, but I'm just saying that just in case. Before I start this ranking, I would like to state that I won't be including the Diagon Alley microscale set or the Hogwarts microscale set, simply because, you know, they're D2C. One of them was you pay this much to get it. That was the Diagon Alley, of course. I mean, the microscales mainly was taking it out for me. Like, if there's a D2C Diagon Alley, that would be right in here. Please, like, I'm still asking you again, make one. But since there isn't, I'm just gonna have to go like this. Now let's get into this ranking. In last place, I have Beauxbatons Carriage. I think there are a lot of problems with this set. I don't think there's one set main problem. So I'm going to start out with the first problem I want to talk about, which is price. $50 retail for this? Yeah, that's a bit too much. I think it should be $40. You know, you can get it at Target right now for $40, but that's as of June 17th, 2020, and not every day is June 17th, 2020. Am I right, boys? We got it August 1st, 2019. You paid $50 for this thing right off the shelf. I mean, it doesn't look like something that's worth $50. The carriage build, it looks nice, but I don't know if it's worth $50. And for minifigs, I think they should have upgraded it to at least 5. At least 5 for a $50 set. Another problem I'd have with this set is just a little problem on LEGO's part, which is I felt the Hagrid in the set would have been better in the Clocktower. He just seems more fit for that. I don't think he seems fit for, you know, landing the carriage in his ball outfit. That just doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Something I would just like to mention about this set before I move on, really this is the last thing I want to mention that is bad about the set, is something that I thought was really funny about the box art. If you look at it, you could see that that most of it's just, you know, grass, hills, you know, the carriage. I mean, it just seems very boring. But then if you check in the top left hand corner, there's Hogwarts, and it's flipped around. They literally did like a 180 on Hogwarts. It's so strange. So not only is this set just not that good, but it's defying the fucking universe. This belongs in another goddamn galaxy. It's insane. I do have to give this set some credit though, because I do find that the main play feature for the set is really neat, and the way they made that carriage with the color scheme and whatnot is actually pretty good. So I don't find this set to be terrible or anything. I just find it to be the worst in this line. You know, this line's filled with a bunch of amazing sets. This one just has to go down at the bottom. Up next, I have the Hungarian Horntail set. The only reason this set is above Beauxbatons Carriage is because of the minifigs. We get 4 minifigs in this set, which is the same we got in Beauxbatons Carriage, but in that set it was $50. This set, it's $30. And I do like the minifigs more, not the Victor Crumb. I have a problem with the Victor Crumb from this wave. I feel that it's his face print. It's just, it makes him look childish. It makes him look like a kid who's trying to like stand up to a bully like, I'm big and strong, but I don't really get it. And his other face, his second face, just makes him look like he's having an awkward moment, which Victor Crumb was always just such a serious character in the movie that I don't think either of those really relate to his character. Now, for everything that is in the minifigures, also known as the builds, they aren't really anything great. The Hungarian Horntail is worse than the one that came out here, I believe it's 2005. It's worse than that one. That one, I think, looked much better. I think the build's a lot more intricate. I mean, that's kind of a given because, you know, it's a newer set. Usually that'll happen, but I think the older Hungarian Horntail by far beats it. You know, there's all the spikes on the Hungarian Horntail that move around its head. They just break off. It's annoying. The tent, while cool, and I like the way they built it. Like, I have it in my room, and I think it's actually a really nice build. I think it's too small to bring up anything with the Hungarian Horntail itself, and that's why this set has come in this low. Up next is the first set I have from the first wave on this ranking, and that is Aragog's Lair. Now, this set does have an obvious disadvantage with it being the smallest set, but I'm still going to rank it, and I still think it's a pretty good set. I think this set's actually really good. I mean, some of the stuff in here is great, like the Aragog build. That's just fan-flippin-tastic if you ask me. But I mean, the minifigs, they're pretty good. They're exclusive, which I like, so, you know, we don't get repeated torso prints. That's actually pretty nice. But otherwise in the Aragog, I would say we don't really even get anything special. We get the one tree build that has the flick fire missile as the mushroom. I don't really like that. I think that's just kind of pointless. And I think the tree build just, it doesn't have enough depth. I think I understand why they included it in this set. It makes sense. You know, $10 release. They don't just want to put an Aragog and 2 minifigs in there. You know, they also put the Aragog's little children in there. They put them in there. I mean, it's cool to get more spider pieces. I gotta admit that. I like getting the spider pieces, but that's really all I have to say about this. Short segment for this set, but yeah, I think it's pretty good. It just isn't better than a lot of the others. Now we're moving on to the first set of the third wave, the newest wave, of course, which is Umbridge's Encounter. I don't feel this set is actually that bad. I actually feel it's a pretty good set, but do I think it's the greatest or even up there with any of the other sets in Harry Potter line? No, not really. Now, talking about this set, the first thing that I obviously want to talk about is the minifig selection. It is actually a wonderful minifig selection, considering, you know, the Umbridge. The Umbridge is an amazing minifigure, and I think the Harry is really nice, even though, you know, there's been a lot of controversy with that torso because it's been reused a lot. It's just a reprint. The Hermione, of course, looks really nice, and we got the centaurs. Those look amazing. Now, I want to talk about the builds of the set. One of them is Grop. Now, the main thing is that Grop could be counted as a minifig. That's why this set does feel a little weak to me. But I really do like the Grop. He's a really nice build. I think he's an improvement on the Giant Man, which is, you know, I own the airport battle from Civil War, and that's one of my favorite sets. And I think the Grop is just an improvement on the Ant-Man with the hair molding and, you know, the stomach smoothing. That's all looks so good. This set feels kind of like the Aragog's Lair set in the fact that it's just a build of some life form, like a big build. It's actually a genuine, that's the great part of the set, is that build. And with this set, the main reason it's above Aragog's Lair is because the minifig selection is a lot better. But it's a build, and then they include, like, a tree build. You know what I'm saying? It's just that type of aesthetic. It's not that pleasing, in my opinion. It's all right. I mean, I kind of like it, but it doesn't make a great Lego set. Not in my opinion. Not really. Now I'm moving on to the sets on my rankings, which, in my opinion, are just generally amazing. Starting that, I'm going to start with the least of these, which is Expecto Patronum. The number one thing that I have to talk about this set, I just got to get this out of the way, is the Patronus. I mean, what a beautiful piece. That was so beautiful. And now that we're getting 2 more in this next theme, I really think they look really great with that, you know, transparent blue with the glittery shit inside. I don't even know, but it looks so nice for Stag Patronus. I think it just looks so good. Another real standout that I really want to talk about with this set is the Sirius Black minifig. This is the best Sirius Black minifig we got by far. The older one had a weird hairpiece in my opinion, and his face was like, he was so happy and proud. He didn't actually look like Sirius Black. It was kind of ridiculous in my opinion, but I think the new one looks really good. Now, when talking about the other minifigs, of course we get the Harry, but we get the Harry in other sets such as the Night Bus, and I'll talk about that set later, so I don't really want to go in depth here. You know, it's just a reprint, pretty cool minifig. And then we get 2 Dementors, and we got one in the Hogwarts Express before this, but I think getting 2 more, especially for this scene, is actually really good. I think it's a really good part of this set. The one reason this set is so low for me, though, is the builds. I mean, 2 trees and a little water area, that doesn't seem like a very, you know, crucial build. It seems like a very weak build. You know, the trees are kind of sturdy, but they're not even like 3-dimensional. They're like cut off in the middle. It's kind of weird. I don't like it. I really don't like the builds for this set at all. Next on this ranking, I have the most interesting set, which is Hedwig. Hedwig is different from the others in the fact that it's kind of a statuette thing. It would look really nice on my desk. You know, if it's just right next to my computer or whatever, it would look so nice. It would even look nice on my Lego shelf. I mean, it's a really nice build. The playability on the build's magnificent for what it is, but I do feel I would have much rather, had another set like just another playset or another build onto Hogwarts. But this set is still really nice, and I'm glad we get something different. I'm glad it isn't all the same, honestly. I feel like what I want isn't always what we should get, so I mean, getting Hedwig's pretty cool, and we actually get a cool Harry minifig as well with it, and I think that's one of the upsides of this set. I think this set is actually really nice, and I think everyone should go out and buy it, because it's only going to be $40, and what, it has 650 pieces or whatever? I mean, that price per piece is insane. Even though I don't like to judge sets by price per piece, I just think that's crazy. Next on my ranking is the Quidditch set. Now, I was really impressed with this set when I got it. At first, the set turned me off because, it's a set based off Quidditch. It's one of the lesser aspects, in my opinion, of the Harry Potter films. I much prefer everything else over Quidditch. But this set is actually really, really nice. This set does very great with the minifigs. We got Quidditch Harry, we got Oliver Wood, we got Lucian Bull, and we got Marcus Flint. Those are the 4 great minifigs in the set. But getting Snape and Hermione again, I get why they put it here because of the scene in the Sorcerer's Stone, where they think Snape's cursing Harry's broom, and then Hermione puts his robe on fire to distract him to stop it. It makes sense. I really wish they would have based this off of Chamber of Secrets, though. I feel like Quidditch Draco wouldn't have had to been inside the minifig series. It would have been inside the set. And especially because I like that scene more than I like the Sorcerer's Stone scene, I feel like it would just make a better set. Now, the build is pretty much a strong point of the set, in my opinion. I love the stands in this set. The Quidditch stands are so good. Even though, the repetitive builds, I get that. Except for Gryffindors, of course, but the opening curtain door, whatever you want to call it, that is pretty legit. That's, different. But the Quidditch ring build itself, it's actually a really long build. Like, I didn't expect it to be as long as it was when I got it. I expected it to be a lot shorter. But the build is a lot bigger scale, And the Hufflepuff Tower has the scoreboard on it, which I think was a really nice build. The Ravenclaw Tower has the megaphone, and I just think this set has good attention to detail, so that's why this set goes this high. Next on my ranking, I have the Night Bus. Now, I do have a little bit of bias towards the Night Bus in LEGO because me and my brother, who, of course, they are Riley and CNR Studios, we used to, see this set in stores when we were always like, that's the set, but the Night Bus, we finally got one in March, and we were blown away with how good this one was. Like, looking back at the old ones, they are garbage in comparison to this. This one's super nice. The minifig selection in this set's great too. The new Ernie figure just looks fantastic, and so does the Stan Shernpike. The Stan Shernpike, in my opinion, is so good above the other ones. Like, the Ernie Fring, I mean, he's a little better. I mean, his old iteration wasn't even that bad. I actually kind of liked it. But the new Sean Shernpike, that's a hard-ass name to say, is just, it's so much better. I really like it. The Harry, of course, average Harry that we get in Hagrid's Hut and Expecto Patronum, it's the Harry, basically, for the Prisoner of Azkaban in this wave. So I'll give it a pass for that. But the Night Bus, I think the build is what really sells me on this set. I mean, for one, they use all the windows around the bus instead of in the front where they used to have windshields just stacked on top of each other. It just looked really bulky and weird. I feel they really improved it with this new window design. And I think the new Night Bus just looks super nice, and I really think it does belong this high on the list. Now in the ranking, we have the second of 3 of the sets that are in the $20 range. This is the Graveyard Duel. This is a great playset with a really neat build for the graveyard. While it's not the biggest thing ever, it's just a little patch of land, I still think it's really cool. And all the minifigs in this set are exclusive, which is a really nice add-on. For the exclusive figures of the set, we have a fantastic Harry figure, a really great Peter Pettigrew figure, which is the only one that we know of from this new wave so far. And we have a Voldemort, which is in his black robes instead of his green robes that we see in the CMF series. And we have a Death Eater. Death Eater's pretty cool. I mean, it's the only one we get, so I mean, yeah, pretty cool. But when talking about the build, My main things that I like about it are the Tom Riddle headstone. I think that looks really nice, and considering the scene in the movie with the interaction with the gargoyle, that you could put its scythe around Harry's neck, that makes sense. And the fact that you can make Voldemort come out of the grave, I think that's just such a cool play feature. I don't think we see that in a lot of sets. We get some other cool gravestones, but if it was a little bigger, I think it would be better. But of course, it would have to up the price, and I wouldn't want that for this set. So that's really all I have to say for this set. It's really nice, but it's not better than one more of the $20 sets. Up next is expectedly the last $20 set on this list, which is the Room of Requirements. The main reason I really love this set is the amount of detail that they put in the build. It fits right into the Mega Hogwarts build of this theme, despite, some people saying, oh, it doesn't fit in because it has the axle hole in the middle of the 2x1. Disgusting, get out of here. I mean, you could still fit it in, though. That's the thing. Like, even if you couldn't, most of us know that we have just the other type of axle pieces just laying around if you wanted to make it even or whatever. But I don't see a reason why this wouldn't be in Hogwarts, in my opinion. But the detailing on the fireplace, that is a super nice build. I really like that. And, the trans blue pillars from the they used to be, I know they were in the 2012 Batcave because that's where I got a bunch of them from, but otherwise than that, those just look super nice. Those look so good for the Room of Requirements. Then of course we have the minifigs. We have Hermione, Luna, and Harry. The Harry, I love the torso for. I love that hair piece matching with the face for the Order of the Phoenix Harry. I think that just looks well. The Hermione, I don't know, her forehead kind of looks a little big. She looks like a Lepin figure in my opinion. It's just kind of odd, but she looks fine. I think they should have given her a different hairpiece, honestly. I don't really like that hairpiece for her. And the Luna is pretty great. Obviously, we get a Ravenclaw torso. Yes, we've only got one before. We got Cho, and now we have this, so that makes me a little more happy. And she has a different face from the CMF one, which is the one that I have. And I think all the figures in this set look great, and the build looks fantastic. And that's why the set is this high. And I almost forgot to talk about the beautiful Patronus pieces in the set. We have the otter and the rabbit. They just look super nice. They're in addition to the stag that we got in the Expecto Patronum set. And I just think they repeat how good that piece was. Up next, I have another attachment to the Giant Hogwarts, which is the Whomping Willow set. Now, I really do want to talk because this build is awesome. There's one problem in particular that really just, it infuriates me sometimes. Like, I try to pick it up, move it with my Hogwarts display. I do it sometimes because I got the Hogwarts display on top of my bookshelf, and, it attaches in between the Great Hall and the Clocktower until I get the new sets, so I can make it look accurate. But that's what I do, right? And then it collapses in on itself on the opening area. The opening area, while cool for decoration, is not good for sturdiness at all. It just collapses on itself. It's just very strange. I also want to talk about the minifigs in the set, as we get Hermione, who is definitely not exclusive, but alright. We get Harry and Ron, who they aren't exclusive either, but they're so really cool figs in my opinion. I really like the versions of Harry and Ron where they come with their sweaters on. And we get Snape. Now Snape in the Quidditch part, I mainly focused on him being a negative minifig. That's the exact opposite of how I actually think of him. I actually think of him as a great minifig. I only think there's one better Snape minifig, and that's the 2007 Order of the Phoenix one, just because how that just shows Snape all greasy and shit. I think that's so funny and so cool that I really like that part. But we do get an exclusive Seamus Finnegan. Pretty cool fig in my opinion. I really like that. And we do get a Filch. Filch, that's awesome. I wish this set came with Miss Norris. That would have made the set 10 times better. But we get Filch, and that Filch minifig is amazing. It really is so nice. Also, one thing that I do think is really cool about the set is how we actually get a Gryffindor Tower. I know some of you may be like, well, Lego doesn't say it's Gryffindor Tower, so it's not Gryffindor Tower. But that's ridiculous because it has Gryffindor's quarters in there. Where else are they sleeping? A bunker? Come on, it's Gryffindor Tower. But I think it's really cool that they added that in here. I really am glad that we have that in this Hogwarts. Also, Jesus, this segment's going on forever. I forgot to talk about the Whomping Willow and the And the car, the Ford, I forgot the model is, but the Whomping Willow, what a nice build. I mean, the way they rounded it off is great. You know, it leaves the possibility of a shrieking shack coming. Please, Lego. We've only got one before. We need another. Please. God damn it. Please, Lego. But the Ford car is super nice. The trunk opens. It holds 2 suitcases. You know, everything about that car is nicer than the new one in Privet Drive, except for the front. The front has a much nicer, is much nicer in the one in Privet Drive. But I think that's all I have to say about this set. And yeah, let's move on to our next spot on the list. Now we are moving on to another great set, which is Hagrid's Hut. The best part of this set is Buckbeak. I mean, come on. Buckbeak, that's a pretty cool mold. That is such a good build. Now, there are 2 problems that I have with this set. Number 1, price. This should be a $50 set, not $60. Of course, you can go down to a major retailer and you can buy it for $48.99 or whatever, but it should be $50 MSRP no matter what. And the second is the little garden area. I mean, really, it just feels like a bunch of branches and a pole. Kind of lackluster, if you ask me. But otherwise than that, I think this set is so nice. Of course, Buckbeak, who I've already talked about. Hagrid's Hut. Hagrid's Hut, fantastic build. While the interior could be a little more spiffy, if that's all I have to say is bad about it, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Minifigs. Cornelius Fudge. Amazing. And don't care. Fuck. And then we have the Executor. Fucking great minifig. I love that minifig so much. Hagrid. Love the new Hagrid. The new Hagrid is my favorite Hagrid. He looks so cool and so movie accurate. I love it. Harry. He's been in a couple of other sets that I've talked about. He's a cool fig, but I mean, getting that reprint so many times isn't the greatest thing ever. Hermione. Nice. I like this Hermione. I like the hairpiece. I like the face. I really like the torso with the time turner on it. And then we move on to Ron. Maroon sweater. I mean, that's pretty good detailing. And of course, the new Ron face, which I think is better than the old one. But I think they're both actually kind of equal. You know, this set is just really complete. It's really solid set. It's a really solid set. And that's why it ranks this high on this list. The next set is the last set that does not focus on a building, and this one is Hogwarts Express. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Oh, well, Hogwarts Express does actually kind of focus on a building. You know, King's Cross is in there and whatnot. But that is true, and King's Cross, that's an awesome build. But it mainly focuses on the Hogwarts Express, as you may know. Now, King's Cross might actually be my favorite part of this set, just because how much detail they put into it. We've never gotten anything like it for a set based on the Hogwarts Express. Like, in 2010, we got the Flying Ford, and in the older ones, we either got facades or we just didn't get anything at all. But this set, we actually get a lot of it focused on King's Cross, which I think is really cool. And the Hogwarts Express itself is actually really great, though it is kind of reminiscent of every other building that it's 3 cars. And the passenger car is really cool. I like how the Trolley Witch's cart can fit in between the 2 seats, the 2 compartments. I think that's really cool. Now, when talking about the minifigs, we have the Dementor, which we get 2 others of in the Expecto Patronum set. And I really like this figure. I feel like it was a vast improvement over the older ones, and I really do like it. Then we get Remus Lupin. This figure is my favorite figure of the set. What a great figure. We haven't gotten a Remus Lupin in so long. It has been, it's been forever. It's been since the first Prisoner of Azkaban line, and that Remus didn't even look that good. This one, fantastic. He doesn't have a cape on. One of the weirdest parts about those old Harry Potter figs is they always had capes on. I guess it meant they were like robes. I get it, but I don't really think that works for me. And we have Harry. He's shown up in the Whomping Willow. That was a pretty cool fig then, and now he's a pretty cool fig. And we had the Ron, who also showed up in the Whomping Willow. Hermione, exclusive to this set. Really nice fig. I do like that. Trolley Witch. Interesting figure to get, in my opinion. Usually, I wouldn't have expected us to get a Trolley Witch. I would have expected someone else. But since we got one, I think that's really cool, and I really do like that they included one and her little trolley in this set. I think that's really awesome. Next on the ranking is just a plain amazing set, and that's 4 Privet Drive. Now, if you know anything about the history of LEGO and 4 Privet Drive, you know about the old one. The old one was not 4 Privet Drive at all. Just wasn't. It was like it was weird. It's just plain weird. But the new one Looks like a great suburban English house. It's just a fantastic build. Of course, we got the minifigs here. We actually got the Dursleys instead of just Vernon. We have Petunia, Dudley, and we got Harry Potter. We got a new Dobby. You gotta watch out for that. That actually looks really nice. We also have... Then we got the Ron, who's another pretty neat minifig. Some of the other cool parts about this set, I want to go more in depth about this build because of how I'm just so fascinated with it. We got the bars on the window, which of course, they should be on the front of Privet Drive, but I see why they didn't do it. It makes the scale a little shorter. It's kind of a good detail. We have the living room that looks super nice. We have the cool mail detail with all the letters just going down the stairs and whatnot. That's really awesome. We actually get under the staircase room where Harry used to sleep. It's really nice. Even though Harry's bedroom's in it, aka Dudley's second room, we still do get that under the staircase room. It looks really nice. The roof tiling, I love that. That design is so great. I can't believe the Lego designers came up with something so intricate. We have the floating cake that, of course, Dobby did that in Chamber of Secrets. Then we got the Privet Drive sign with an owl, pretty accurate to the beginning shot of, Sorcerer's Stone. If you've seen that movie, I doubt you have, because, you're not Harry Potter fans and whatnot. And we got the flying forward. Now, I know I said in my Whomping Willow part that, oh, the Whomping Willow flying forward does everything better except for the front. Kind of true. They're very similar. They're basically the same, except for the front and the trunk detailing. The Whomping Willow does the trunk detailing better, while the new one does the front detailing better. That's really the only difference in these two sets with those cars. But this set's just incredible. I love it. I can't wait to own it. It's going to be a great set. I just got to wait till August 1st because fuck you, Lego. And next we have the other house of the Harry Potter theme, which is the Burrow, the Weasley's residence. And I mean, the main reason that I'm putting this over for Privet Drive is just because you can do so much more with the Burrow than you can. Privet Drive, it's a standard English suburb. A good one at that, though. But the Burrow, ooh, super nice. Such a creative house. I want to start out with the build and all its cool, it's so nice. Like the bottom floor, ooh, what a nice build. It folds out from both sides. We get the dining room on one side and we get the living room and lounge on the other side, which is really nice. We get Ginny's room, which we did get in the 2010 one, but it was just a small room with a quibbler. This one goes into great detail. I really like that. We get Ron's room. Ron's room looks so nice in this set. This one improves so much over the 2010 when it comes to the interior. Oh, wow. We get a lot of Chudley Cannon stuff here, which, if you've read the books or, seen the movies or whatever, you know about the Chudley Cannons. And then we also get Molly and Arthur's room. Surprise. That's actually a really big surprise. I was not expecting us to get that in this set. That was a really big shocker to me. And otherwise than that, I think just the exterior itself just looks fantastic. They got the Burrow done so well. It looks, they really captured it in this set. The 2010 one, it was more like a tower. This one, it's like a leaning tower, which is what you want the Burrow to be, of course, because, it's held up by magic. It's really nice. The minifigs, well, I want to talk about them. We got Arthur Weasley, actually a pretty good minifig. Molly Weasley, great minifig. I wish I would have printed the dress, though. Ron, that's a cool minifig, though we have basically gotten him, like all of him, except the hair in the Hagrid's Hut. We have the Harry. We also get him in Umbridge's Encounter. The Ginny Weasley. This is probably the highlight minifig of the set, in my opinion. Really nice. We also get Bellatrix Lestrange. And, I mean, for a minifig that we've only gotten once before, this is a pretty good minifig. I mean, the one before kind of looks very similar to her, but this one, I think I like the expressions more in this one than we did get on the old one. And we also have a Nymphadora Tonks. That's a pretty cool minifig to get. Like, if you've seen Order of the Phoenix through Deathly Hallows, you know that's a pretty prominent character in those movies, so it's really nice that we do get that. And the last minifig we get in this set is Fenrir Greyback. It's a hard name to pronounce, sorry, I fuck that up all the time. But, while a cool minifig, I think he's just a little too similar to the one in 2010. That's kind of the same problem that I do have with the Bellatrix, is they're very similar to their 2010 counterparts, which does kind of throw me off a little bit with these minifigs. But otherwise than that, this set is fantastic. I'm going to buy it day one, definitely. I can't wait for this to come out August 1st again, you fucking Lego. But, that's really all I have to say. Now, if you had more than 2 brain cells, you would know that the next 3 are going to be Hogwarts expansions. Now, starting this trend off will be the Hogwarts Clocktower set. This set, I love the build. The build is so good. Oh man, it fits in so well with Hogwarts. You know, we get Dumbledore's office finally. It only took us, 3 Hogwarts expansions to get it, but we get the Yule Ball part. That's the worst scene in any Harry Potter movie, in my opinion. I don't know, I feel like wanting to die whenever I watch that scene. It was so stupid. But the Yule Ball part is my least favorite part of this set. You know, the play feature, it is cool though. It's a cool play feature, but it's definitely something that I wasn't a fan of. And then we get the bottom floor, which really wasn't anything but just like a little hallway in Hogwarts. Pretty cool, not bad. The second floor, Mad-Eye Moody's Defense Against the Dark Arts class. That's pretty legit room, in my opinion. I really like how they have the chalkboard with Mad-Eye Moody's rules on it. I think that was pretty cool. And then on the third floor, we have the hospital wing. Thank God. We haven't gotten a hospital wing before. We finally got it in this set. That makes me feel really glad about this set. Now, in my opinion, the minifigs of the set aren't really that notable, except 3. Dumbledore, Hermione, and Ron. I think these 3 are brilliant, even though, of course, I've already iterated that I don't like the Yule Ball scene. I think the minifigs that they put out for these characters was actually really cool. I really do like it. The last thing I should talk about is the exterior design of the clock tower itself, and wow, the way that fits in the Hogwarts is astonishing. It's really nice. The clock tower exterior and whatnot, while some may say, oh, well, the 2004 one, it had the moving pendulum. This one doesn't have a moving pendulum. Yeah, but this one goes more for detail and less for play features, if you know what I'm saying. And the older one had a much worse interior, if you ask me. It did have Trelawney's room, but that's about the only cool thing it had. Everything else in there was kind of alright. That's why I really think this new one is much better than the old one, and why I think this new one belongs this high. Now on to the second to last set, which is the Great Hall. This is the first set that I owned in this wave, and this set just is a phenomenal set. And the one reason this set isn't even the number 1 set is just because, in my opinion, there isn't enough parts of Hogwarts otherwise in the Great Hall. Since this is a Great Hall set, it should have all of the main focus on the Great Hall. This attaches beautifully to the Hogwarts expansion, in which I think when I get all of them, you guys should look forward to a video where I connect them all and I show you in the order that I think you should do it for, depending on what you're going for. But this set, I really love the spire tower to the side of the Great Hall, really great. The exterior on the Great Hall, they did a fantastic job with it, with all the windows and designs and whatnot. The interior is really great. They had floating candles. They have, of course, the little area where all the teachers sit. And they have the tables, which, of course, they have 4 for all 4 of the houses to sit at. Even though, it's not how it's supposed to be, with the room it's given, you can't really do it any better way. In the tower, we have some of the coolest areas, like we have the Mirror of Erised part, and we get a sorting hat piece in here. Amazing piece. I love that sorting hat piece. Now, if I want to talk about minifigs here, we got to start out with Quirrell, and wow, this is the best Lego Quirrell by far. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me on that one. What a fantastic minifig, and his second face just looks so nice. And we get Dumbledore years 1 through 2, which is actually a really great design to have, considering that we actually do have a couple of other Dumbledores, but they're all based off the other movies. We have Hermione, which comes in a couple of other sets, which, I mean, the Hermione's a pretty good fig on itself. And we got Hagrid, our first set with the new Hagrid. I'm so glad I had this set just because of that Hagrid. We have Ron, which I actually do believe this Ron is exclusive to the set, because in every other set we get him in a sweater. We have Harry, who is not exclusive, sadly, because he comes in some poly bags and whatnot. But I think he's a pretty cool fig as well. We get Draco Malfoy. Awesome. I'm glad we actually get a Draco Malfoy. This is one of the few that we actually get in these Harry Potter lines. We get Professor McGonagall, which is another great fig. We don't get to see her in any of the other sets. We also have Nearly Headless Nick, and we have particularly odd one, Susan Bones. Kind of a strange one to go with, but I get why they did. It really does make sense. This set's fantastic. I'm glad it was the first one I owned. Just truly an amazing set, and that's why it ranks at number 2, but it isn't better than our number 1. Now, at number 1, I have a set that I know a lot of you, and I mean a lot of you will not agree with, but it's the Astronomy Tower. I really feel that this set is the best LEGO Harry Potter set. Why do I think this set is number 1? Why do I believe that it is better than any of the other sets? I think this set really just encapsulates on this whole Harry Potter line. We get, of course, a Hogwarts expansion, and we get some great minifigs. We get Slughorn, who we've only seen once before, and that was in the Bricktober pack. Another highlight minifig, I believe, is the Waiter Neville. That's a really cool minifig in my opinion. Another highlight's the Lavender Brown minifig. We get an exclusive Ron, which is really great to see. An exclusive Luna, which is really great. That's our third Luna that we've gotten so far in this Harry Potter line. We have exclusive Harry, which is another cool, really great minifig. Exclusive Hermione. There's so many exclusives in this set. And the last exclusive is Draco. I mean, this set's just filled to the brim with fantastic minifigs, and I just want to talk about the build for a second. They included the greenhouse, which is one of my favorite parts of Hogwarts, and I'm really glad that they included that. Some other highlights are the astronomy area, where there are the telescopes and all the globe models and whatnot. We have Slughorn's potions room, which, you know, it's kind of odd because we have gotten a bunch of potions areas before this, but now we got like a bigger, more, you know, it looks more like Mad-Eye Moody's classroom more than anything. We got the Ravenclaw dorm, which is probably my favorite part of this set. You know, it's really great that we actually get another house's dorm instead of just Gryffindor. And then we have Slughorn's office, which is another cool area, and I just love this set. This set's just fantastic to me, and it has to be number one in my opinion. It's just a little better than the Great Hall. I also really like the way the towers are built. I think that is just fantastic. The way they use the colors on the set is just awesome. I love this set so much. I have to rank it number one.